Hey folks, Chris again here from the Big Toy Auction. We're bringing you some more comic books right here. We're going to be going behind the scenes of how we go about taking our photos for our catalog. In the process, we're going to show you some really good comic books that we've got coming up. You can see those right here at TheBigToyAuction.com. They will be available for you to bid on. You can come to the live auction. That will be broadcast online. Or you can leave pre-bids right now. You can head on over there, click whatever it is that you like, put whatever your maximum bid is that you think these items are worth, and the computer will handle everything for you. There's positives, there's negatives to each way. Whatever you think is best for you, we encourage. In the meantime, if you have any items that you'd like to sell with us, please let us know. You can go online at TheBigToyAuction.com. Let us know if you've got toys, action figures, comic books, coins, jewelry, ephemera, old memorabilia. World War II stuff is always a great seller. Whatever it may be that you have that's just taking up space, let us know. We'll be happy to sell that for you, get it out to the broadest audience we possibly can, and make you some money. You don't want to hear about any of that. You want to see some comic books. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off here. Civil War 2. And we're going to jump right into it. You don't need to see me, so we're going to show you the comic books instead. That's what you came to see. This is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of these. The reason we do this on the video is so that we can show you a little bit more. So I can show you the spine. We'll show you how the light plays off of the corners, like that. We'll show you the way the light comes along here, just a little bit of spine stress. And we'll show you the back as well. Something that we can't do in the catalog, so we like this as a little bit of a bonus for you. Encourage you to look at the catalog photos as well. Those are pretty high definition. We try to do our best on those, but this gives you just that extra bonus so you know what you're bidding on, and you are aware of what it is you're going to be buying. So I'll jump right into the next one here. This is Civil War II #2. And in fact, we'll move the white background here for 1 second while we do this, just because it's a black comic book. Gives a little bit more oomph. I'll brighten it for you so you can see that in a moment. And you'll get a little bit more contrast. Looks nice right down here. We'll show you the corners. Look nice. Corners up there, very good. And as you see, everything right there, looking pretty good all around. So now you know about it, what we know about it. It'll be available at TheBigToyAuction.com. Head on over and look at it. If there's anything that we miss in these, this is Civil War II #4. If there's anything in here that we miss, slight stress mark on the corner right there. So should I have missed that, please let us know in the comments. We want everybody to be aware. We do our best to look over this, but we're going through a bunch of comics. We have over 4,000 books coming from this consignor alone as part of a clearance liquidation that they were doing. So if there's pieces that we miss or things that we might not notice, please let us know in the comments. If there's things that you like, let us know those in the comments as well. It helps us to make it a better situation for you. Gods of War 3, Civil War 2, #7 right here. A little bit of stress on the spine right here where it's starting, but nothing major. The corners look sharp and tight. That one has a little slight bend to it. Not quite a crease, but a bend. I'll show you the back. I love these M&M 75th anniversary ones from just a few years back, as I've said before. Love those. Ulysses 1, Civil War 2. Check that out. You got some folks on the front there. Slight ding right here. Let's show you that corner. Oh, camera's going on us. There we go. Bring that right back. Yep. Turn it over. And we'll show you that. Show you the bottom. And that ought to do it there. Pretty nice. X-Men 3, Civil War 2. So you can see everything going on right here. Spine looks very nice. A little bit of wear right there. Let's get it in the camera so you can see it. Good. Corners. All around a nice, pretty good tight book. Before we go, a little bit more old school Detective Comics number 680. That Keith cover. Part of the Nightfall storyline. And looking pretty good. You got Bane, you got Killer Croc making some appearances. You got Robin appearing to be in some peril. Chuck Dixon did the work on this one. Scott Hanna as well. Now, which number is this? This is, yeah, 660 on that one. Yes? Okay. So we'll show you that. The back as well. Looking pretty nice all around. So there you go on that one. More Chuck Dixon goodness with a scary demon bat. Show you the corners. Show you the spine. Show you that cover. Mortal Kombat. Oh man, one of the all-time great games. Here you go. You got a little bend in the corner right there. Coming out in September of '93, so that obviously dates this book quite a bit. As does Asbats right here. Kelly Jones doing the cover work on this one for Azrael as Batman. Back during the Knight's Quest, after Bane had done what he did. I'm not going to give spoilers on a 25-year-old comic. If you haven't read it yet, you think by now you might have a little bit of damage right there. But if you haven't, no damage, then you are going to be surprised, and I want you to have that. So we're not going to tell you what happened, but that's Azrael as the Batman. We are moving on to some brighter colored ones, so I can put down the black. Again, it gives a nicer bit of contrast. Here's a scary color right here. I think we've all had this nightmare. Contagion 695 Batman. A little bit of bend right there. I can feel it, and you can see it right there in the light. So just be aware of that. Slight crease points in the cover. I'll show you the back. Never saw this game. Unfamiliar with it. Pretty much all around. If you know anything about it, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. So I love about these older books, seeing some of these older advertisements for the products, the games, the books, etc. that were common back then. So just a little bit of spine stress as you see it right there. There's Mortal Kombat X Blood Island Part 2, number 10. Comedy Central. What I'm guessing was a fairly short-lived series. We don't watch a whole lot of Comedy Central anymore, so I'm unfamiliar with it. If it turns out it was a fantastic series, let me know. I do not know. Mortal Kombat X number 11, next in line. For the continuing adventures of all your favorite Mortal Kombat characters. Really one of the first for a two-person combat game. Really an amazing amount of world building that they ultimately did. And here is number 12. And this, of course, continues some of that world building with advanced stuff. You got Sub-Zero, I'm guessing, and Cyrax, maybe? Some stress right here on the cover, the spine, as you can see it. Corners look pretty good. Maybe a ding right there. Otherwise, not bad at all. We're going to move on here to some of what you love is the Rocket Raccoon. Number 2. Obviously, for you Guardians of the Galaxy fans out there, nice little book. Looking a little bit like Lost Weekend on that cover. M&M's 75th anniversary. I love these ads. Hopefully you do too. All right, moving on here to Rocket Raccoon Grounded number 5. Nice little cover right there. Matt Rosenberg on this one. Looking pretty good. I don't see any issues on the spine. Slight ding right up there. Can we see it? The lighter the covers, the harder it is to tell. When it's a dark black cover, it's easy to tell. And the corners look pretty tight. Everything else on the back looks good. More Guardians of the Galaxy imagery on the back. And again, you can see slightly right there. Moving on here to some Amazing Spider-Man from the Michelin era. Trial by Jury. Part 1. It's, of course, Venom's gang there. You got Michelin Bagley doing the work on this one. Corners look okay. I don't see any spine issues. And it looks pretty good on the back. It's all around a good book right there. Here you go. More stuff about Peter Parker's parents. That's not easy to say. Shouldn't be all that hard. Many of us auctioneers, I suppose, often will do some tongue twisters before a auction just to get warmed up and ready. And yet, Peter Parker's parents seems very tough to say for some reason today. So no issues with the spine. A little bit of stress right here. Corners look good and tight. 384, Amazing Spider-Man. And that ought to do it there. Next up, we have 385. If you'd like to find out what happened next, here you go. Let's refocus that, get it a little bit brighter. There you go. We'll show you right up here. So this is right around the time they started to work in Mary Jane's addiction storyline. Slight stress right there. It's part of the Trial by Jury soundtrack. What am I talking about? Storyline. And that's going to do it for that one. Moving on here to The Vulture. Is this part of Life Theft? Yes, it is. If you were a reader of this in the 90s, come on, let's focus. There we go. Camera does not want to cooperate today. I don't know why. Let's try and just do that. We'll purge it. So you got a 360, 386 on this one. Some more David Michelin. Adrian Toombs, as he begins his quest to steal people's youth. Oh, would that we could. Alright, so a little bit of slightest of roll in that corner. That corner looks good. I don't see any, just a tiny little bit. Where'd it go? Right here. I don't even think you can see it there. A slight bit of stress right here on the spine. Otherwise, looking good. Surprising, considering the age of this. Right about 25 years or so. Back in the day when I was reading this, going down to the newsstand and picking these up. Not these particular ones, but identical copies. And here's what happens with the Life Theft. We also find out, I believe it's a summation of what happened with Peter Parker's parents. There we go, looking pretty nice. A little bit of stress right there on the spine, but otherwise, the slightest of roll right there. And of course you got this, some not quite creasing, but rolling. It looks to have begun some spine roll as this is off-center. Otherwise, a pretty solid book. And here is the conclusion of Life Theft. For those of you who are going to be kept up at night by it, here you go. Worry no more. You can buy this at our next auction. If you were the high bidder, you're going to be able to find out. Slightest of stress right there. The corners look nice and tight. Double-sized issue right here. Who didn't love those double-sized? This was back before in the days when you couldn't really get it digital. Well, you couldn't at all get it digital, and they didn't always anthologize these So when you got a big, thick book like that, look at the size of that. That was fun. It was always nice to be able to get that much and just sit down for an afternoon and get some reading in. Wonderful. DC Comics, Frankenstein, the Agent of Shade. I am wholly unfamiliar with this. This is part of the New 52 line. I do not know if it continued on, if it was a continuation of anything else, but it looks interesting to me. Anybody out there who knows, please let me know. I'm curious what's going on in this book. It looks interesting enough, but I am unfamiliar with it, so you're on your own. I can't put out the hard sell for it since I don't know, but there you go. You get a little stress points on there. But if you like this, if you enjoyed it, man, here's one to fill out some holes in your collection. Available at our next auction at TheBigToyAuction.com. Head on over there and check it out. You got number 7 here as well, Rise of the Humanoids. All still part of that New 52. Some stress points right here on the spine. We expected to see things like Batman, Superman, The Flash, maybe even a new JLA incarnation, but Frankenstein? Nope. Did not expect that, so pretty interesting. Still haven't seen the new Resident Evil movie. Looking forward to when that comes on. Sit down, maybe take 2 hours off and just watch that. Sadly, the end of it, most of those movies were not particularly good, but I love the heck out of them. Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, number 14 right here. A little bit of spine wear right here on these spots. Otherwise, looks pretty nice. There's got to be a way we can automate this for you, so I can show you that slow roll there a little bit easier. Oh, a little too bright. Let's let it refocus. There we go. And this is number 15, part of the Rot World saga. It looks interesting as it takes on sort of a zombie feel. It's not clear from the lighting. Let me see if I can get that for it. There's a slight bend on that corner. The standard stress that you'd expect on the spine. And we turn it over. So you can see some of these with the Batman Wii game. Moving on to the last of our Frankenstein books, at least for now. I don't know if we have any others. Coming up later in the auction, but you got a little bit of spine wear right here. Corners look good. Cover looks pretty nice. Slight ding right there. I can't even see it looking at it, but I can see it in the light. There we go. And the same type of thing on the back here as you might expect. So all around pretty good. Moving on to some Avengers. Number 237. 237, you got Spidey and Rhino in this one, making a little bit of a guest appearance against an Avengers lineup that includes, who is that? Star Fox, you got Ms. Marvel, Captain America. I guess they're fighting Electro there. Good book right there, and it looks neat. One of the interesting things about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is everything seems pegged towards the Avengers. And the nice thing about the Avengers is it had a completely rotating cast throughout the years. So if any actor wants a little bit too much money, or a storyline goes in a way that doesn't allow for them, no problem. You can always put in a new character. People will be upset, but it makes sense story-wise. Alright, so we're going to show you this corner here. This is Avengers number 258, featuring Firelord. Like Silver Surfer, he was a harbinger of Galactus. You got Hercules and Black Knight in this lineup. And it's an older cover that's lighter, so you're starting to get a little bit of spine roll. Can you see it there? Only a little bit, but thank goodness for the video. We get a chance to show you that. We would never be able to show you that if we were just using the catalog photos, so I'm real excited that we get a chance to use this. It took a while to develop this setup, but here you go. 270, Avengers number 270. Kind of a weird team up right there. Back in the days when Namor was a bad guy, depended on the week. Sometimes he was a bad guy, sometimes he was a good guy. Moonstone. How often do you see Moonstone in a comic book? Does anybody know if there's a Marvel Legends version of Moonstone? Whenever I see some of these more rare or outdated ones, I'm always curious about that. See if there was a Marvel Legends on that. It seems like they've run through the gamut of just about everybody. If you know in the comments, let us know if there's a Moonstone. I'd love to find that out. All right, Avengers number 308. So I'm not sure what's going on here. A slight ding in the corner as well as some curving. From the cover, it looks like Hercules is not having a good day. I'm guessing that's who that is. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's Gilgamesh. He probably does not have a Marvel Legends figure. And some TSR. Can't find an 80s comic book without a TSR ad in the back. They just go hand in hand. Blastar, looking like a, I'm not going to say it's a ripoff of Kirby's New Gods from DC, but it totally is. Here you go. Some spine damage right here, as you'd expect in a book of this age, but otherwise the cover is looking pretty nice. This is Avengers number 310, featuring Blastar. Namor appears to be on the team now. A little bit of wear, as you can see right up there. So I like about these black covers. Really shows, makes my job a whole bunch easier. If you like what you're seeing here, this is Avengers number 332. By all means, we encourage you to please follow us so we can update you with more. If you like what you're seeing, let us know if there's something that we could do better or that you'd like to see more of or less of or instead. Please let us know that as well. We try to do this for you to make it a better situation. Some stress right here as we show you the back. And of course, if you know somebody who's looking for this particular copy, needs it for their collection, by all means share it. Sharing is caring, and that helps all of us. Helps them to get what they want, helps us to make a better auction for next time, because we can get more of our consigners to bring you more of the same. Here you go. You got some Adam Warlock there. You got some Vision. A bearded Thor. Oh my. 345. Not a ton of spine wear, just a little bit right there. It's part of Operation Galactic Storm. Obviously some aftermath from the Infinity stuff, Crusades, Gauntlet, etc. That I suspect we'll be seeing quite a bit more of in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that should be something. Who knows? It's one of the fun things about the movies right now. For those of you who invest in comics and buy them for their value, we like to see people buy them and read them and really enjoy them. But if you buy them for value too, that's fine, because you never know what's going to show up in one of these books that might all of a sudden be very important to the movie line, even though it wasn't even important to the comics. It's always kind of neat. Now let me look at this. It's hard to see in the camera for the weight covers like this, so I'm going to point out there is a sticker on here, probably by the newsstand, and in fact looks to be possibly Canadian newsstand edition, as well as a small tinge, little ding right there. So I'll point that out. You might not be able to see it. Slight wrinkle. This, for some reason, you can see a little bit better, probably because of the purple in it. As we move on here to Alternate Visions. Here you go, number 360. Back in the days of the gimmick covers. Now, they don't so much do the gimmick covers right now. It's just right now every book has 150 different variants. This is 360. Ooh, hurts my eyes. Slight stress points right here. Nice thing is, a cover like this really lets you see those stress points. I hope I'm not blinding you folks at home. Depending on the angle, I'm blinding me. So we'll get those. We're going to show you Avengers Annual number 12. Nice dark black cover so you can see everything. A little bit of a corner ding right there. Surprisingly little stress, surprisingly few, I suppose, stress marks. There's one right here on the spine for a comic book of this age. And of course, I want to point that out. See where it's bent up there? Something easily fixed, but I want to make you aware of it. We won't fix it because we don't want to try and hide anything. Moving on here to some Hulk 308. This time up. A little bit of wear on that corner. Some stress on the spine, as you'd expect. More right there. Now I'll turn it over. Now this looks like a little bit of heat damage. I don't think that's part of the ad. I don't think it's darkened, as sometimes happens on those ads. I believe that's exactly how it's designed to be. So be aware of that. Otherwise, a pretty good book right there. All right, moving on. 310. Oh, lost our camera. Let's get him back. Some more Bill Mantlo. This is number 310, yes. Yep, you got the Goblin in there. A little glow. And a pretty good book. One little point of spine stress, maybe a second right there. Not bad at all, especially considering this is direct market, which means a lot of times back in the 80s, if you ordered these on not online but through the mail, these would come in really unpadded, unprotected envelopes that sometimes the mailman would just shove through the mail slot. So to find them in that condition, pretty interesting. Here's a neat little piece by Rags Morales, who is local to us here. Always willing to help out with causes, benefit stuff. We've worked, still never met Rags, but we've done some benefit stuff for some different conventions local to us. So you see a little bit of stress points. And he is always willing to donate some items for us to auction off. So even though I have not met him, have not had that pleasure yet, fantastic gentleman from what I have found. All right, and Truth number 6. Same creative team on this one. I'll show you all along here. Kyle Baker. Some stress point. I can feel it on the back. This looks to have been a slight bend. Yeah, there it is in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. It is pretty slight, but there's a slight bend on that corner. What is going on with our camera? So I'll show you that part right up there. We're almost through here, folks, so we'll make it to the finish line. Here you go. You got some more Truth number 7. Pretty good. I see a little bit of, I was covering it up there. Didn't mean to, but I was covering up both of these stress points. Corners look good. It's tough on these whiter covers to show you, but there it is. There's a pretty decent sized bend right there, but given that most of the events in these don't really affect modern continuity, it means that you don't find too many keys, which means sadly pieces like that tend not to go up in value, not because they don't have intrinsic value. They are good books, they just aren't the hot books. Universal War 1. Here's an interesting little piece. Kind of a standalone by Dennis Badram. I like it because it's dark and lets me show you everything. So a little bit of smudging. Looks like somebody was handling it with their fingers, and you just get those fingerprints, those oils. That's why we wear these gloves, so we don't do it ourselves, so we don't get more of that on you. And we move on to the next one, Universal War 1. This is book number 22. I'm sorry, book number 2, not 22. I'm reading it. There's that echo in it there. And you can see on the spine a little bit of spine wear. I'll show you these. Some good stuff on the back. So a little bit of almost independent stuff. And of course, number 3, Universal War 1, number 3. Let's get it to focus. We'll clear it if we have to. There we go. Sometimes it just does not want to cooperate. So you see that cover by Soleil. Slight something going on there. I'm not sure what. A little bit of spine stress. Corners look pretty good. Not slight bend in that corner. I spoke too soon. And more of the same on the back. So some good stuff all around right there. As we move on to old fan favorite, here is Doom 2099. I doubt we'll be seeing any Doom 2099 movies. It would be very, very difficult to introduce all of the 2099 universe and what that entails, but here you go nonetheless. So some good stuff right here. I don't see much spine stress. I'll show you the corners. Show you the cover, show you the spine. Looking pretty good right there. Fun read. Kind of an alternate universe. This is Doom 2099, number 9. Of course, first printing, Ernie Colin. Some Pat Broderick work right here. We saw him on some indie stuff in a previous auction. Doom 2099, number 14. So I'll show you the spine. Again, pretty good considering the age. I don't see a ton of stress marks on there. Corner looks to be a little bit bent down, but not creased. On this side, it does seem creased. So there's a slight crease in that back cover. Nobody's really looking at the back cover, but we let you know nonetheless. Doom 2099, number 20. Here you go. Future Doom gets a new face. Let's brighten that if we can, so you can see it. And we'll refocus. There we go. We'll force it to refocus. 2099 right here. Pat Broderick again. Doing a deliberate swipe, which he credits, and I like that. He makes it a point to say, hey, here is the source that I am trying to emulate and pay homage to. I don't see any spine wear on that, so that's pretty interesting. Usually on an older book like this, now there's some spine wear on the back. You can see it there. You get quite a bit. Doom 2099, number 41. Versus Daredevil. I'm guessing Daredevil 2099, as he is not a severely old man. I was unfamiliar that there was a Daredevil version of the 2099 universe, but certainly it makes sense that there might be. A little bit of spine wear right here. And of course a Namor, who, not sure what their physiology is. Who knows? Maybe he's 1,000,000 years old. And that's the back of it. Doom War. Right here, Jonathan Mayberry. You got some Black Panther in there, obviously a popular character right now. This is the John Romita Jr. regular cover. I'll show you what he looks like right there as we hurl towards the end. I'll show you the back. A little bit of wear on this one, obviously. Doom War number 4. Interesting little take here. You have the Doom mask. You got some bends on the corner. Good tight corner there. And of course some stress on the spine. A little bit. You got the Doom mask. And who's hiding behind it? Is Deadpool. Obviously, Deadpool's been pretty popular of late. Certainly the movies help. But even before that, he was a very popular character, so as many books as you can get him into as possible means sales. And of course, number 5. A little bit of damage right there in the corner. Nothing to write home about. Pretty good corner there. I expect to see some stress. Yeah, just really that one stress point right there. A little stress on the spine. Show you these, so some good stuff right there. As we move back to some Ultimate Fantastic Four, this is number 37. No more, sadly, no more Mark Millar on this one. But a pretty good job nonetheless by Mike Carey, Pascal Ferry on this one, picking up the reins and running with it. Got a slight ding in that corner. This corner is looking pretty good. Just a few stress marks that you can see in the light there as we go by it. We'll show you the back real quick. Looks very nice. Some good stuff right there. Some more Ultimate Fantastic Four right here. This time up is number 38. So I'm going to show you, yep, you can see that corner has just a slight bend. This one has some bend to it too, almost a crease. It extends all the way up here. So hopefully you can see that. There is some spine, some significant spine stress on it, so be aware of that. But a good book nonetheless. Certainly a great reader, or one to pop into your collection if for some reason you missed this the first time around. Same with number 39. Oftentimes we will offer these choice or groups, so it's sometimes a great way to pick up an entire run. So you have these little mini runs like this. It's a great way to get those for a good price. You have, again, a slight bend right here in the corner, just like you had in that last one. A little bit less spine roll, though. Not spine roll, but spine creasing, spine stress on it there. Moving on here to number 40. Pascal, moving away from the book. You have Scott Collins, Mark Brooks by this point. Some stress marks right here. I don't mean to cover them up. It's just where I happen to be holding. Looking good. Turn it over, you can see the Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man 3. Quite a while ago. Ultimate Fantastic Four number 42. Pascal back on the book. Show you that corner. Corner down there looks good. Cover looks good. Just a little bit of spine stress right here where my fingers are. All around, not bad at all. .43 right here. You got Silver Surfer. Always a fan favorite. Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Ultimate Fantastic Four. Silver Surfer. A little bit of spine wear as you expect. Some slight bending down of the corner. The other one seems to be pretty tight. Think Way Toys. How about it? This was quite a while ago. As we move back on what I think is going to finish out this cataloging session for this session, you have Amazing Spider-Man. Still, I believe, in that Michelin era. No, we've moved on to Jim DeMatteis, Mark Bagley. So all around, some really good talent on this book, and it shows. Show you those corners, very nice. Looking good right there. Little bit of wear up at the top. And all around a great book. This is $3.89. Amazing Spider-Man number 389. We're moving on here to Amazing Spider-Man number 390. Some more of the life theft. This time you got Shriek and Carrion involved. Back when they had kind of the entire rogues gallery, the entire supporting cast, they were trying to shove into every book. I think that was a mandate from the top. It is certainly no indictment of the writing staff at the time. I think that's just what they were getting. I don't see any. There's a slight stress mark right there. It's hard on this gold cover to see. Slight one right there as well. But otherwise, some pretty good stuff. On the black cover here, oh man, you can see everything. So a little bit of stress right up there. But all around a great read. And moving on here to Shriek in $3.91 for the most shocking ending of the year. I don't see much stress on there. Almost no spine stress, just a little bit up at the corner and a tiny bit right there. So pretty good. Mark Bagley again. I'll turn it over. You can see those. So all around a pretty good book right there. Moving on to $3.92, where he decides once again, he's done it before, where he's hung up the Spidey uniform. There's a take on that where he decides to hang up the Peter Parker uniform. Decides, I'm going to be only Spider-Man all the time. A slight bend on that corner. Not even a crease, just a bend downward slightly. Nothing a pressing wouldn't completely eradicate. A little bit of stress right here on the spine. And of course, again, credit it where credit is due. Showing the, obviously a take on the Spider-Man No More cover. Some Maximum Carnage from Acclaim. A fun game. Moving on here to $3.93, you got Shriek, you got Carrion. Carrion was always a horrifying bad guy back in the day. Here is the finale of this particular storyline from $3.93. And of course, a great way to sign off would be on this one, but we got one more coming for you. Slight stress points, not even really creasing, just slight stress points right there. Some more Mortal Kombat. Let's see if we can find, yeah, see right at the top, right in here, just a little bit, but otherwise really fantastic shape, probably gradable. And we finish out with a bright shiny cover for you. Birth of a Spider-Man, $3.94. Jim DeMatteis, the foil stamped cover. You got everything coming to a crux right there. You got Ben Reilly, you got Gwen, you got the Spider clone, everything you could imagine, as well as the Jackal. Let's show it to you. Nice thing about these shiny covers, they really let you see everything. Little slight bend on that corner. Bottom one looking good. I don't see any stress points here on the spine, so all around pretty good. And it's a flip cover, including the Traveler. Don't see any ups. You got a stress point right here on the cover. Can you see that? Yep, there it is. As well as some the clone. All around good. Don't want to hide that stress point, but I like looking at this cover better. So we're going to end with this vision looking at you. And of course you can see me if you want. I can get over there, kind of hang out with them. All five heads. I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to thank you for coming on out. Please look at the catalog. If there's any questions that you have, let us know. We'll be happy to answer those. If you have items you'd like to sell, of course, I'm not going to go through that pitch. You know what to do. But head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com to see all of these. You're going to see the high quality photos front and back of each. So if there's anything that you missed in the video that you thought, hey, was that a thing? Go and look. Make sure. Make sure that these comics are exactly what you want to purchase, and then go ahead and leave any bids. We appreciate your coming on out, and we look forward to seeing you at the auction.